If you've been scrolling through job sites feeling discouraged because everyone keeps saying the UK has closed its doors to foreign workers, I need you to stop right there, because that is simply not true. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly which UK companies are still actively hiring foreign workers, still sponsoring visas, and still desperate to fill positions in 2026. This is not outdated information. This is what's happening right now. So grab a pen, take notes, and let's get straight into it. There's a lot of noise online right now about the UK tightening immigration rules, raising salary thresholds, and making it harder for foreign workers to get sponsored. And yes, some of that is true. The rules have shifted compared to a few years ago. But here's what most people miss. Tighter rules do not mean zero opportunities. It means the opportunities have shifted towards specific sectors, specific companies, and specific types of workers. The employers who are genuinely struggling to find local talent are sponsoring more aggressively than ever, because for them, it's not a choice, it's survival. Their businesses literally cannot function without bringing in skilled workers from abroad. Your job is to find those employers, and that's exactly what I'm going to help you do today. Let's start with healthcare, because this remains the single largest sector for visa sponsorship in the entire United Kingdom. The National Health Service continues to recruit internationally for nurses, doctors, radiographers, and various allied health professionals, and NHS trusts across England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland have dedicated international recruitment teams whose entire job is to bring overseas talent into the system. Beyond the NHS itself, private healthcare groups and care home operators are sponsoring care assistants and support workers at a scale that's honestly hard to overstate. Major care home chains across the country are registered sponsors actively bringing in workers from Nigeria, India, the Philippines, Kenya, Zimbabwe, and many other countries to fill caregiving roles that simply aren't being filled by local applicants. If you have any caregiving experience, even informal experience caring for family members, paired with the right qualifications, this sector remains one of your strongest paths into the UK. Moving into construction, several major UK construction and engineering firms continue to hold active sponsor licenses because the country is in the middle of massive infrastructure projects, including housing developments, transport upgrades, and renewable energy installations. Companies involved in large-scale building projects need bricklayers, electricians, plumbers, steel fixers, and general site workers, and many of them work directly with international recruitment agencies to bring in qualified tradespeople. If you have a recognized trade qualification or solid hands-on experience, construction firms are some of the most consistent sponsors you'll find because their projects literally cannot proceed without enough workers on site. Hospitality is another sector where sponsorship is still very much alive, even though it took a hard hit in recent years. Hotel groups, restaurant chains, and catering companies across major UK cities continue to sponsor chefs, particularly those with specialized cuisine experience, along with hotel managers, kitchen staff, and food production workers. London, Manchester, Birmingham, and Edinburgh in particular have hospitality businesses that are constantly posting sponsorship available roles because the local workforce simply doesn't meet demand, especially in skilled kitchen positions. If you're a trained chef or have solid restaurant management experience, this is a sector worth focusing on heavily. Logistics and transportation companies are another major source of sponsorship opportunities. With the continued growth of e-commerce and same-day delivery services, warehouse and distribution companies need workers constantly. HGV and lorry driving positions in particular have remained on shortage lists because the UK has struggled for years to train enough local drivers to meet demand. Large logistics and supply chain companies sponsor drivers, warehouse supervisors, and operations staff regularly. And if you already hold relevant driving qualifications or are willing to obtain UK certification, this sector offers some of the fastest routes to steady, well-paying sponsored employment. Agriculture continues to rely heavily on the seasonal worker visa route, with major farming operations across England bringing in thousands of workers every year for fruit picking, vegetable harvesting, and packing work. While these roles are often temporary, lasting a season rather than years, they remain one of the most accessible entry points for foreign workers, especially those without formal qualifications. Some workers use seasonal agricultural roles as a stepping stone, building UK work experience and references that help them transition into longer-term sponsored positions afterward. Technology companies across the UK, particularly in London, Manchester, and Bristol, continue to sponsor software developers, data scientists, cybersecurity professionals, and IT infrastructure specialists. The tech sector has remained relatively resilient even amid broader economic uncertainty, and companies building out digital products, fintech platforms, and AI-driven tools are competing for talent globally, which means many of them are fully set up to sponsor skilled international applicants quickly. If your background is in software engineering, cloud computing, or technical fields broadly, this is one of the more lucrative sponsorship paths available right now. Engineering firms working in renewable energy, manufacturing, and infrastructure also remain active sponsors. The UK's push toward green energy, including wind farm development and electric vehicle infrastructure, has created strong demand for mechanical, electrical, and civil engineers. Companies involved in these projects are often willing to sponsor experienced engineers because the timeline pressure on these projects means they cannot afford long hiring delays waiting for local talent to be trained up. Now, how do you actually find which specific companies are sponsoring right now instead of just hearing about industries in general? This is where most job seekers go wrong. They apply broadly without verifying whether a company is actually licensed to sponsor, which wastes time and leads to disappointment. The UK government maintains a public register of licensed sponsors that updates regularly, and learning to navigate this register properly is one of the most valuable skills you can develop in your job search. Cross-referencing this list with companies that are actively posting job openings in your field allows you to focus your energy only on employers who can legally bring you into the country. Beyond the official register, specialized recruitment agencies that focus on international placement are incredibly valuable resources. These agencies work directly with UK employers who have ongoing sponsorship needs, and because they understand the visa process inside and out, they can match you with roles much more efficiently than applying cold through general job boards. Look specifically for agencies that specialize in your field, whether that's healthcare recruitment, construction staffing, hospitality placement, or tech recruitment, since specialized agencies tend to have stronger direct relationships with sponsoring employers. Company career pages themselves are also worth checking directly, especially for larger organizations in healthcare, logistics, and hospitality. Many of these companies list sponsorship availability directly within job postings, sometimes explicitly stating that they welcome applications from candidates requiring visa sponsorship. Searching for these specific phrases within job descriptions can help you filter out positions that aren't actually sponsorship eligible, saving you significant time. LinkedIn remains an underused tool for this exact purpose. Following UK-based recruiters who specialize in international hiring, engaging with posts from sponsoring companies, and directly reaching out to hiring managers at companies you've identified as licensed sponsors can put you ahead of candidates who only rely on passive job board applications. A well-crafted message expressing genuine interest in a specific role, along with a clear professional summary of your relevant experience, can open doors that a standard application alone might not. Once you've identified target companies and roles, your CV needs to be sharp. UK employers expect concise, achievement-focused CVs, typically no longer than 2 pages, formatted clearly with your most relevant experience highlighted first. Avoid generic objective statements and instead focus on specific accomplishments, certifications, and measurable results from your previous roles. If English isn't your first language, having your CV reviewed by someone familiar with UK hiring standards can make a significant difference in how seriously your application is taken. When you reach the interview stage, be ready to clearly explain your relocation timeline, your understanding of the visa process, and your genuine commitment to the role. Employers sponsoring foreign workers are making a real investment, both financially and administratively, and they want confidence that you're a serious, reliable candidate who understands what relocating actually involves. Researching the company thoroughly beforehand and being able to speak knowledgeably about their work shows that you're not just looking for any visa, you're looking to genuinely contribute to that specific organization. I also want to address something important here, because protecting yourself matters just as much as finding opportunities. Be extremely cautious of anyone asking you to pay large sums of money upfront in exchange for guaranteed sponsorship or job placement. Legitimate UK employers cover the cost of the certificate of sponsorship themselves, and while you'll be responsible for your visa application fee and the immigration health surcharge, you should never be paying a recruiter or company directly for the promise of a sponsored job. Always verify a company's sponsor license status independently before engaging deeply with any offer, no matter how convincing it might sound. The reality is that despite tighter immigration policies overall, genuine demand from UK employers across healthcare, construction, hospitality, logistics, agriculture, technology, and engineering remains strong, and companies in these sectors are actively working through licensed sponsorship channels to bring in workers right now. The opportunity hasn't disappeared. It has simply become more important to target your search strategically, verify legitimacy carefully, and present yourself as a polished, serious candidate. If you take one thing away from this video, let it be this: stop applying randomly and start applying strategically. Identify 2 or 3 companies today from the sectors we covered, check their sponsor license status, tailor your CV specifically for the role you're targeting, and submit a genuinely thoughtful application rather than a generic one sent out to dozens of postings. The candidates who succeed in landing sponsored roles aren't necessarily the most qualified people applying. They're the ones who understood the system and worked it correctly. This is a real achievable path toward a new life in the UK, with better income potential, access to excellent healthcare, and in many cases, an eventual route toward permanent settlement. But it requires action, not just information. You now have a clear roadmap of where the opportunities are and how to pursue them effectively. So the only question left is whether you're going to use it. If this video gave you real clarity on where to focus your job search and how to approach UK companies that are still sponsoring foreign workers, please hit that like button. Drop a comment telling me which sector you're targeting so I can bring you more specific guidance, and share this with anyone in your life who's been trying to make this move happen. And before you go, make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I'll keep bringing you updated company lists, real sponsorship leads, and step-by-step support to help you turn this opportunity into your reality. Subscribe to my channel now, tap that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.